Hey guys, welcome back to the Comic Book Lowdown. I'm Wellington. Um, as you can see, I'm ready for work. Going to work in about an hour. So I just thought I'd make this video because I said I would try to in my haul video that I posted on Thursday or Friday. Thursday. Um, and yeah, so this is gonna be a review video, kind of video I've not done for a very long time. So excuse me if the reviews aren't that good, but my reviews have never been very prepared and centered. I kind of just go off of what I have just read, and so I'm just gonna review the books that I got that came out this week because I did read books from the past couple weeks, like the Batman Annual and Deathstroke, and the end of Spider-Verse, the Secret Wars tie-in. I had Fight Club issue number 5 as well, but as I was opening issue 5, I noticed I hadn't even read issue 4. I'm not even a fan of the book, so I'm just gonna stop buying it. And maybe just give my comic book store back the issues and maybe I can trade them for something. I don't know. Anyways, that's besides the point. You guys want to see the reviews, and as I normally do for my reviews, I review from, I guess you could say, least liked to pick of the week. But although least liked is a very harsh term because every book I read was something that I really enjoyed. So at least for the most part. So I'll just start. I have 6 books to review. No, 5 books to review. And right, yes, I almost thought I couldn't count for a second. 5 books. And so we'll just start with the first one here, Secret Wars issue number 6. This book is pretty overdue now, obviously, since we've now started all new, all different Marvel. But this event is still going. There's still 2 more issues to come out, so hopefully they can come out quickly because the effects of this are already being felt before this is actually over. But so in the last issue, we have pretty much a dialogue heavy issue explaining where Dr. Doom kind of gets his power source for Battleworld, and it's from the Molecule Man. And in this issue, we kind of are seeing Dr. Doom's world kind of crumble. The facade of his almighty, all-powerfulness is kind of being lifted as Valeria and some of the other, and like other of the 616 and 6 and Ultimate Universe survivors are kind of lifting that veil. And as a result, we get a lot of good character moments. My favorite being character moments between Peter Parker Spider-Man, Miles Morales Spider-Man, as they are speaking with the Molecule Man, and those are some pretty funny scenes in there. And then there's also a scene with Thanos and the Thing in here, and so there's a lot of good just like character interactions. Also between Black Panther and Namor, some really cool stuff happens there, some big stuff that really moves the plot along, although there are a lot of things that they either are just introducing you dead in to save time, so because they are behind schedule, and there are things that haven't happened that just show up having happened now. Like characters, like a character known as the Prophet is kind of brought up as if we know who this is and what he's doing, even though this is the first issue that we're kind of hearing about him. And then there's other characters in here that we haven't really seen too much of or at all, and they're kind of just thrown in, and it's kind of confusing, but that's why this isn't kind of like pick of the week for me or anything like that, but it is good. So Secret Wars issue number 6, pretty good, all in all. Next book, we have Old Man Logan, issue number 5. This is the end of this Secret Wars tie-in, and this was probably my favorite Secret Wars tie-in. What we have is Old Man Logan has been kind of the one who's jumped around from domain to domain the most over any character, and so he finally lands in like what seems to be regular New York, like 616 New York. I don't understand entirely how that is, but I'm just going with it because it's a good book. It's a good contained story within itself. And I say it's kind of that 616 because he meets the X-Men there, and it seems to be the X-Men from All New X-Men, because there are the younger versions of the X-Men that are still there, so like young Jean Grey and young Scott Summers, and then, you know, regular Phoenix Force, Cyclops, as well as everybody else. So that's kind of what I feel from this. And so this is pretty much Logan's reintegration, if that's the right word or word at all, into the regular world, in which he thought he killed back in the original Old Man Logan story after he killed, you know, all the X-Men on accident. He's kind of getting his second chance, and they kind of explain that the second chance is due to maybe he's going to be some sort of leader in the resistance against Doom, since he's kind of one of the few who know about Doom, and or not even know, because he doesn't know much, but he knows that there's something fishy going on because he's been from domain to domain. And this is the end of this, but it's going to continue with Jeff Lemire and Andrea Sorrentino, the team who was working on Green Arrow back on DC. They're going to be continuing Old Man Logan starting in 2016, but I don't know where this leads with Secret Wars, because there is kind of a Secret Wars like Attack on Doom feel by the end of this. So we'll see what happens there. But it was good all in all. Now we jump into the actual all new, all different titles that I got, starting with Doctor Strange issue number 1. I was going into this with a pretty open mind, not knowing what I'm, you know, going into really, because I've never read a Doctor Strange book. And the beginning, first couple pages, really good to give me his backstory. And then we jump into like a crazy world. The artist on here, who I'm unfortunately not familiar with at the moment, last name Bachalo, is incredible artist, very imaginative. And Jason Aaron's writing, it's pretty much, this starts out with Doctor Strange, I guess you could say, giving an exorcism, but not really an exorcism. He's fighting off soul eaters that have kind of invaded a child's body, a child's soul, and he's fighting these things off because he was hired to. And it's just very interesting. Like, he goes into the interdimensional planes and fights off, you know, all these crazy looking bacteria and soul eaters and all this other kind of stuff. And it's interesting to see the world he lives in as opposed to the world that we live in. And we kind of follow that theme throughout. And as we're following that theme, more serious strings start to be unraveled, giving us a more full story as an unknown threat to Doctor Strange is introduced to him, and it kind of invades the world. And this is gonna be interesting. I'm actually going to keep this on my pull. Like I said, it's going to be all new, all different, so I got to keep one of the more different and weird titles on my pull, especially because I like the first issue so much. That one was really good. The next book was, in my opinion, I thought it was fantastic. And this is Amazing Spider-Man issue number 1. I, again, am a fan of the costume, actually. And I feel like if you're going to make Spider-Man a worldwide, if you're going to make Spider-Man into Tony Stark pretty much, this is the way to do it. He's embracing his Parker Industries CEO head, his job, and he's kind of going with it, and he's doing it in his own style. He's got a Spider-Mobile, which is awesome. I thought it was going to be stupid, but I actually really like it. He's teaming up with other people to kind of also take on Spider-Man work as Spider-Man, so suspicion isn't risen, and he's doing great things at the company. And this issue just seemed like he's getting his life straight a lot. There's good comedy in here. It's really big. It's oversized. And I don't know. I just felt like it had the heart of Spider-Man, but in a more global way, which I'm not opposed to. This was something I actually really enjoyed. And the backup stories kind of give hints, or they give you a glimpse of what the other Spider-Man stories are to be, or Spider-Man related stories are to be about. So we have a glimpse into what 2099 is going to be, what Spider-Woman's going to be, what Silk is going to be, which surprised me a lot, I guess because I wasn't reading Silk, but she's teaming up with Black Cat, so that is kind of unfortunate for Peter Parker. And we get a glimpse of what Web Warriors is going to be, and then we kind of we see Miles in here for a little bit as we're going forward into hinting at what's happening in Amazing Spider-Man. There's going to be a little Doc Ock happening throughout here, and a little bit of Regent happening. If you read Renew Your Vows, the Secret Wars tie-in, so there's a lot going on, and I really actually like the direction that they took it in. I don't know, this was really fantastic for me. Would have been pick of the week had the next and final book not been just blew my expectations out of the water, and that was Invincible Iron Man issue number 1. Might be the first Iron Man book I've ever bought, and it didn't disappoint. It is Bendis, so Bendis rarely disappoints, for me at least, and he just really made Tony Stark an interesting character to read about, while giving him a big threat to, or with Madame Mask is kind of going to be what seems to be the first villain, or at least the first villain for the first arc. And we get him struggling with his inability to continue to be at the top of his game of like ingenuity. He gives a point of like what was once his great Iron Man tech is now just kind of something that any MIT student can do and has done. And so he's kind of losing his spark for what makes him him. And at the same time, he's like, I can make all these things, fantastic things, but then eventually somebody's going to reverse engineer it and use it for bad rather than good. And so he's struggling with whether he should continue to be inventive. And then he kind of is on a date, a very amusing date, but also very insightful date, in which he kind of talks about these things that he's feeling with another genius, a doctor, and she kind of feels the same way. And then eventually we get Tony Stark donning this new suit that he has, which is an awesome suit. Kind of, if you want to read more into it, just get the issue. And yeah, so, and then we go from there. There's a big character reveal at the end too, which is very interesting. especially because Secret Wars hasn't ended yet. So very interesting. And then David Marquez's art is phenomenal in this. Like, very realistic, but also, not photorealism, but very realistic at the same time. Sorry, my computer is running low on battery, if you heard that. But I absolutely love this. This is definitely staying on my pull list. So all new, all different. I think these were the first 3 titles to come out for all new, all different Marvel. And I have to say, in my opinion, that they are fantastic. They just blew my expectations out of the water, and I'm actually even more excited to read what else is to come out. Like obviously Daredevil, and I'll probably be picking up the Black Widow title because Mark Waid and Chris Samney are on that, and obviously the Daredevil connection. And Power Man and Iron Fist is coming back, I think, next year. Black Panther I'm excited to read, and just a bunch of Moon Knight is coming back with a crazy Jeff Lemire story that he's got cooked up. And yeah, so this is looking to be very good. And also Marvel has abandoned the banners, the red banners at the end, so we're getting full covers pretty much. Amazing. I've been waiting for that. But anyways, I'm Wellington signing off with a Comic Book Lowdown, and I'll see you guys next time.